And welcome to Cognitive Cuisine. I'm one of your hosts, Will Otero.
And I'm your other host, Yayoi Komiyama.
And how are you?
I am good. It's a nice sunny day here in New York, so I always love it when it's sunny. I get grumpy when it's rainy.
Well, yesterday was a little shocker for me. We actually got snow. Yes, I know.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
And it was funny because when I got out of work, it wasn't snowing. And I'm driving home, and I get home, and my sister's calling me because my sister lives probably like 20 minutes from me. And she's like, "Do you got snow?" I'm like, "No." Because it's snowing up here. And I'm like, okay, all right. And then she calls me later on, and I look, yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's snowing now. So
Yikes.
yeah. We thought, and Saturday is supposed to get up to 77 degrees up here.
Oh, same here. We're supposed to be in the 70s on Saturday. Um, but we had rain on Monday. Tuesday, it was pretty, but it was cold. It was cold. Though
Yeah.
it, yeah, it's like I can't put away my down jacket yet. It's kind of
we're
sucky.
looking we're looking forward to those days, aren't we?
Yes, and my Uggs. I'm like, I want to put them away.
Yeah, I want to just stop wearing my boots and be able to wear my sneakers and walk outside.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm a Converse girl. I love sneakers and I love Converse. And I have many pairs of Converse, high tops. But so I love wearing them. But when it's really cold out or snowy, I don't want to wear them. So I don't wear them in the winter that often. Right.
Yeah,
So,
you don't want your little toes to freeze. I know when I wear sneakers in the winter and I happen to step in some snow, it tends to be a little mushy and wet. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So, yes. So I want to put away all my Uggs and my boots and all that so I can start wearing my sneaks again.
that would be nice.
Yeah.
Definitely would be. So
Yes.
we're gonna talk about staying grounded in such a fast paced world now with
Yeah.
the way the internet is rolling and especially us being content creators and always be having to be consistent because in what we do you have to be consistent in in putting out content and
Yeah.
keeping up with your audience and keeping up with people the memberships you're building so what is something you do to kind of like relax like I know
Well,
something I see you always do is your walk and
yeah.
even then you're still doing creating content.
Well, hey, I'm one of those people that I'm like, multitask or kill two birds with one stone, right? Or I
Yeah.
don't like that kill two birds, but tackle two things with one action or whatever. So I'm one of those people that likes to do things in conjunction with something else. And, you know, they say that in order to create a new habit, you should stack it on top of a habit that you already have. So, that's been proven to be true. So I'm like, okay, I'll just keep on doing that to kind of create this new habit. But yeah, for me, it's funny. I just started doing this more consistently, but I've started doing like even if it's just a 5 to 10 minute simple meditation or just grounding.
Yeah.
It's really grounding that I do. So because with anything we do, our energies are changed, right? So let's say, for example, after this call, I'll kind of clear my energy field because I want to be present for the next call that I'm going to be on. So I'll clear my energy and then I'll meditate for maybe a couple, like 5 minutes or something. And what I like to meditate too is I'm a water girl. I love the ocean. So I meditate to the sound of waves on the beach. And that helps to clear me and that helps to ground me into the ground, and then I want to imagine that I'm grounded and I'm being suspended fine in a good way, right? So that I'm
Yeah.
grounded, and what I do is I visualize myself projecting love and a service to whomever I'm going to be talking to, so that I could be fully present with that person. And that's an exercise that I really started doing more consistently, probably in the last couple months. And it's really been helpful for me because I feel like I'm cleared and grounded. And what helped me was actually this technique that my friend, who's in Australia, but he is an instructor of something called heart math, and it's really about focusing on your heart and how our heart, we actually have a tiny little brain in our heart, because our heart actually communicates more with our brain than the other way around. So our heart is very important. So, he was talking about that and breathing techniques, and I started doing that, and I found that I'm more grounded. I can create better boundaries for myself. And I think it's really, I mean, no matter what technique you use, it's really to create some space for yourself so that you have a boundary around you, because people are going to want a part of you regardless, right? That's just the way this world is, right? You know, your kids are calling you, your pet wants you to pay attention to them. You've got a deadline you have to meet. Your boss wants this, things like that. So everyone wants something about you. But if you stay grounded in who you are and create boundaries, it can really help to say, this is who I am. And that way, you know who you are. You know you're protected in your own thing. And you give out energy accordingly and share your energy accordingly. I know that sounds kind of woohoo, but you know what? It helps,
Why
believe
why
me.
do we always say that? It sounds, but it shouldn't sound woo because it's
It's
a lot of us, a lot of us who do something similar to that don't
hmm
think of it as woohoo, but that's what we always say. Because even I say it in certain when I do weird deals, like it sounds. I know what I'm about to say sounds woohoo, but
it's
in all
because,
actuality, when you actually start practicing it, you start seeing that
oh yeah.
you start seeing results.
Well, yeah.
And that was something I started in January, was waking up, saying my prayer, and doing my breathing exercise. And when I started doing that, and things at the time, I was recovering from surgery, and then a lot of things, and in the process, things just started changing. Some good, some bad,
hmm
but for the most part, it's been a good change
Yeah.
in some of the things. So it's just amazing that when you start applying these things into your life, and start doing these shifts, because we can talk about it all we want, but until you start applying it yourself
Yep.
and you start benefiting from the results, and then you can really speak upon it, and let people know, like, yeah, I'm doing it myself. These things I'm talking about are things that I'm implementing in my own life,
Yep.
and it seems it works for me.
Yeah.
But will it work for you?
You have to
Hopefully.
try it.
Yeah, but if you don't, like you said, if you don't try, we won't know.
Yep. Exactly. It's really, I know you can have all the knowledge and you can hear all these things and say, oh, that's a great idea. This is good. This is good. But actually, if you don't do anything about it, it just stays locked in here, right? And, when you do it, you'll start seeing changes, really. And they may be small, but they are changes, and there'll be some of them will be great, some of them may be like but you've got to try it before you could say yes or no to something.
Yeah.
it's like with food, right? You try a dish and you say, oh, that doesn't agree with me, or that's not my style. Or, there's some that you're like, oh, yeah, why didn't I try this earlier, right?
Yeah, there's certain dishes I've like, oh, I will never eat again. And then there's times when you go out and you eat and you're like, oh man, it kind of every time you go to that restaurant, it's like, I think I'm gonna have my old faithful.
Yeah, yeah, I have those too, definitely, because it's, what your favorite is your favorite, right?
Yeah,
Until it changes.
this is
But
true.
yeah, but yeah, I tend to, because I don't want to be disappointed by trying something that's actually eh sometimes. But sometimes if somebody says it's really good, I will try it.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I think when was it? Oh, just recently I went out with my friend and we went to this it's a pretty well-known pancake place, downtown. And they're known for their pancakes. And we were like, but it was more like it's a trendy place.
Yeah.
So I wasn't counting too much on the taste of the food. And so, my friend and I had it. It was pretty good, right? And then we came out and she goes, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate this place? And I said, a 6. And she's like, yeah, that's where I was going to. And I was like, yeah, it was okay, but it wasn't like great,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted the great, but well, of course, if I'm gonna eat it, I want great. But
Yeah.
sometimes you don't get great, and it's like it's a 6. It's better than a 5.
This is true. It's true. Could be worse. For if they tweak a couple of things, they might get a 10 next time.
Yeah, they may, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but it was okay. Yeah, so um, yes, actually, tomorrow I'm going out with her again. So,
Um,
and we're going to a different restaurant. So we'll see how we'll rate
maybe
this
maybe I
one.
could that could be our thing. Y'all go out and try these restaurants and leave ratings. Listen.
Oh,
Two
those
friends going out.
restaurants.
It's like, what do you give it? Oh, I give it this. What do you give it? That would be cool.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
she and I do that a
just throwing it
lot.
out there. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Well, she's visiting from Tokyo.
Oh,
So, yeah, so I'm trying to see her as much as I can because she and her husband are moving to Japan.
okay.
So, yeah, they're going to be out of New York, so I probably won't see her in New York, probably not in I don't know.
And they never say never, but
Yeah,
hey,
not in the near future, that's for sure.
hey, now you might have to you might go visit Japan one day
Yeah, so it
soon.
would have to be I visit her. Yeah, yeah, because and so far she's in Tokyo, so that's a good thing. Yeah,
Hey,
yep, and yeah, we'll see. So anyway, yeah, but staying grounded, really, I think it's also about creating those boundaries, those healthy boundaries.
mm-hmm.
And, we have a hard time with creating those boundaries because sometimes we don't know until we kind of step out of ourselves or like we realize we're burning out or we're being pulled in so many directions, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I
but
think it,
in
Mhm.
some cases, a lot more. I put so much on my plate that I really do need to start outsourcing things
Yeah.
because there's so much things that I don't even know how I stay focused all the
Yeah. I get that too. I get that too. A lot of us. And I think, yeah, outsourcing is important. Like, right now, I'm okay, but like I know, like some things, like when I was not this year, but like last year and the years before, I've had somebody do my taxes because I just didn't have the capacity to be doing it.
hmm
And I know a lot of people that because now I'm doing the coaching thing full time. I know a lot of people that hire VAs
Yeah.
to handle a lot of the smaller stuff. And that's actually good because, in a way, they're getting their time back. And that is such an important commodity. Like, we forget that time is a commodity and our time is precious to us. We're never getting it back once we use it. So,
Yeah. No, it's absolutely. So for for the other show, for Stuck in My Mind, I
hmm
have a service where it kind of links me with get potential guests and everything, and I just haven't had a chance to go through the list of people, and I'm talking about it's an outrageous number of people.
that's good though.
It is, but it's also bad because I haven't been able to respond fast enough.
Mm, got it.
Because like when I go through one set, I already got another group of other names, and it's like, oh man, I got to try to go back months, probably a month, couple of months back, and see, all right, this person reached out to me. Let me see if they're still interested, and it's stuff like that that I'm realizing that I need to somehow delegate that to somebody where
Yeah.
they can set it up and look at potential guests and how give them access to the account or whatever. But it's yeah, it's definitely work.
Yeah. That might be something a VA might be able to help you with. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, right now I'm not that busy, so I'd like to be that busy.
I don't I don't know how not you stay interviewing people.
Well, okay, you're right. I am kind of busy, but I don't see, to me that's not that, oh, it is busy, but I guess I'm so used to that fast pace
Mm-hmm.
that I don't see it as busy, but you're right. I mean, from a different perspective, if I stepped out of myself, it probably is busy because I always remember my sister saying this to me. She goes, "You're always running around. You're always running around. You're always in a hurry doing something." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably right now that I think about it." But I did take a break this week a little bit. I haven't been doing as many interviews because I kind of needed to focus on me a little bit right now.
Okay.
Um, because I had some doctor's appointments that I
Yeah.
needed to take care of and some insurance things that I had to take care of. So I thought, that's kind of priority. So
Yeah.
I'm like, this has got to sit in the, back a little bit.
Oh
Yeah.
no, taking proper care of ourselves is should be number one.
Yep.
And so you were doing the right thing. That like I can't. I'm one who can't talk. I haven't been doing creating as much content as I was prior to January, and so I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. But at the same time, I'm just also trying to maintain my health
Yeah.
and make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do after everything. And so if I can somehow find that release where I can be at peace and not always just worry about, oh, I gotta get this done, I gotta get that done. It's definitely and with what I've been doing in the morning, it's helped me kind of, like I said,
Yeah.
gain clarity and kind of focus more on these projects and on what I want to get accomplished.
Yeah.
But
Um,
it's
yeah.
something that you have to find that routine
Yes.
and stick to it and make it and build it into a habit and make
Yep.
sure it's something that you do routinely because you need those moments to kind of recharge yourself.
Yep. And I totally, totally think that that is not a waste of time when you do that. Those rituals in the morning and before you go to sleep, those are just so important. I think those are, for me, that's my self care. They're kind of like the anchors to my, day, right? Like, so when I start off in the morning, I have my morning rituals that I do. and then before I go to sleep, I have my rituals that I do, and those really ground me, and they put me in the right frame of mind as well. Um, I don't know if I said this last time or not. There was a quote that I don't know if if it's true or not, but it was in one of the quotes that I was looking for a quote, and it said the Dalai Lama says that sleep is the best meditation. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, that's really good, you know? Now, I don't know if the Dalai Lama said it or not, but sleep is the best meditation. I thought was wonderful because if you go to sleep, before you go to sleep, if you put your mind in a positive state and in a state that's going to be beneficial for you. So,
Hmm.
like, I always say I do my gratitude journal before I
Yeah.
go to sleep. And that's a great way to go to sleep because that's in my head, all the gratitude and all that. So, when I'm sleeping, I'm probably meditating. My subconscious is meditating on all the good stuff. And I'm grateful for all the things. And then sometimes I will have a list of the things that I'm going to be that I need to accomplish the next day, right, or tasks that I need to do. And it probably is, my subconscious is probably working on it. That's what I'm thinking. So it's kind of like a meditation.
Oh, what I do when I'm going to bed, I have affirmations playing. I actually have
Oh,
affirmations playing,
wow.
and that's what I go to and that's what I go to sleep with, and until the wife comes to bed, and by that time I'm already asleep. So she like, or sometimes she'll leave it on, and then I'll wake up to the affirmations.
That's,
So it's something that I I'm doing every day
yeah. Yay.
and building it up. Yeah,
It's great.
it's good to just, and when they start, it's like you just relax. I put my machine on, which is kind of funny. Lately, I've been able to fall asleep without my CPAP machine, right?
Yay.
So in that regard, and I sleep well. I don't get extremely tired. So a lot of things, but yeah, I'm going with the affirmations. Like I said, I read my prayer every morning. I
Mm-hmm.
do my meditation. My to me it's the breathing exercise I do. That's my time to meditate.
Mm-hmm.
So I just take and breathe, and it's a 5 minute breathing exercise, because I know some people don't want to sit down all day and just. So
Yeah.
take small steps.
Yeah.
Take small steps. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. My prayer is this. That's how long my prayer is
Wow.
every morning,
Okay.
and then yeah, and then my breathing exercise.
That's wonderful. And it's so important that we create these things for our lives because that's what kind of grounds us and keeps us balanced, right? And like you said, in this world right now, everything is like so fast paced, everything needs to be done yesterday. So when you have those bookends that kind like the morning and evening rituals that kind of bookend and keep you balanced, kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what. I was just imagining something like two stones and then, like a seesaw almost, right?
Hmm.
And they keep you balanced so that you could stay, doing the things that you need to do and to be who you are. Because,
Definitely, you
yeah,
definitely have to. Yeah.
because you really reaffirm who you are when you're doing your affirmations, your prayers, your breathing. You're getting in touch with yourself. You're not just going about, you start off your day and just go about doing things without kind of consciousness, right? Now, yeah, I don't know if people believe in that your spirit leaves your body when you're sleeping or not, but you know, if you do, then you're probably you get it back into your body and sometimes you're not quite back in there if you're not conscious of it, aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So yeah, no. It's a lot. It's just a lot of things. It's just when it comes to the spiritual side of what we do, and how is it that we feel like, for me, creating the content that I create is my therapy. This is my way of relaxing and remaining grounded, being able
Yeah,
to talk about these topics. So for me, this is my exercise. This is being able to do this and speak upon it, and learn lessons in it, and being able to see the growth in myself, and being able to explore it and talk about it. And for me, this is where I feel that I've grown so much in the 5 years since I've started. Like,
I'm sure. Yeah,
things have definitely shift. And I am I where I'm supposed to be at just yet? No, I'm still working on it. And I'm still taking the steps to get there in in the near future. But I'm definitely not where I was 5 years ago.
yeah,
I'm in a different level, different phase. And so when you don't, so when you start seeing those changes, it just motivates you to be like, all right, I can continue to
yeah, yeah,
work on this, and work on myself. And when you apply the changes and you see them, you're like, okay.
yeah, yeah. And it's good to, yeah, look back occasionally to see where you were coming from
Hmm.
and where you are now. Sometimes you need to evaluate that, take, go look and see where are you now. Like, because it does make a difference. And we should, I mean, as human beings, I'd like to think that we're always evolving, right?
Yeah.
And I'd like to be evolving myself, because I don't know where this is going to take me, but I'm just going to go with the flow on that. But, to be the best self I can be, I don't know what that's going to look like, but I still have my goal of living past 100. So, I still have that. And, but you constantly want to be doing things that are going to stretch you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Um, and it's funny because this week, once a week on Mondays, I'm part of this group of ladies, and we're doing something called what was it? Something on growth. We're doing like 15 sections of growth, manifesting growth in yourself. And this last week, we were talking about it's called about stretching yourself, how you stretch yourself. And if we don't stretch ourselves, we stay stagnant in that comfort zone. And you may be happy there, but you may be missing some things as well. Now, a lot of people, when they're in that stagnant place, they feel like something's missing in here. They could have maybe achieved the financial goals they wanted, the health goals that they wanted, um, and some other goals, but maybe there's something that's always missing. And when that something is missing, it's kind of good to take that, to stretch yourself just a little bit, you know, and say, maybe I want to try this, just to, because sometimes I know that when I was in that position, I was like, something's missing. I need to do something. And that's when I had the opportunity to go to a Tony Robbins event. And that's when I did that. And that changed my whole life, actually. And it wasn't like I found that, something missing immediately, but it started me on a journey to find things that were. And my life has changed 100% because of that. Because, up until that point, well, first we had to deal with the pandemic, right? So we had that coming up. But it made me realize that I was on a hamster wheel with corporate America. And I thought I was fine. I thought I was doing great. Everything was good. But then I realized I was on that hamster wheel. So going to work every day, and it was like you have your routines, right? You go to work. These days you have these things that you do after work, and you know, and it was a whole thing. But I was like, I felt like I was just doing this, and then I wasn't getting much in here, although
Yeah.
I thought I was. And then when I did that, and well, pandemic helped me to take some space and some time to reflect on myself. And that was what was, I think, necessary to reflect on yourself. And I think we need to look at ourselves periodically and say, where are we? Do I need to stretch myself a little bit right now? Am I getting too complacent where I am? If you feel like, you're jittery and you want to do something, then you're probably too much in your comfort zone right now. I don't know. Maybe. I know for me that's what happens.
I know, and a lot of us we're battling our brains because our brains is just
Oh yeah.
they put us they it puts us in the comfort zone to protect us. It doesn't want us to fail or anything or anything that it deems painful to us.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
It is a little tough, yeah.
yeah, it's a struggle when you face those circumstances, especially in our society where we're told what we cannot do
Yeah.
on a frequent basis. So when we start gaining that momentum and starting to believe in ourselves, that's when a lot of times obstacles just start coming your way,
Yeah.
and
It's true.
you
But
just yeah, yeah,
no, I was just thinking they do come our way, but I think that's why it's so important to surround yourself with people that are supportive, that support you who you are, and that see you as who you are. And even if you're changing, your essence isn't changing. Your essence is still the same.
hmm
And I think that's what it is. You know, in general, human beings don't like change, of
yeah,
course, but we're also creatures that need stimuli to move forward
hmm
because we get bored. And that when we get bored, that's where we're in that comfort zone. That's when you start eating too much. That's when you start watching Netflix too much. And and I think you get that urge to do something, and I think that's human nature to want to do something, and or else you're going to get grumpy and you're not going to be happy. I see a lot of grumpy people around that are or like unhappy people that take it out on other people.
yeah.
So
There's people like that, but there's people like that all over. Like
yeah.
they just don't they feel like their life sucks, so they're just gonna make everybody else's life suck.
Yeah.
And yeah, no,
But my question to them is, okay, well, if your life sucks, what are you going to do to make it a little different, little less sucky?
yeah,
Yeah, because you're making everyone else feel sucky too. Oh, it's
yes,
true.
yes, yes, yes. That people can make situations very uncomfortable, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, this there's definitely people
Yeah,
that
we all know people
yeah
like that.
yes, yes. If you work at a job right now, you definitely know someone at your job like that at this very moment.
I mean, in my lifetime, and all the jobs that I've worked at and all the things that I've done, there's always that one person that's always like, always complaining and never happy. And you're like, I don't, And it's a good reminder though. It's actually, I thank them because it's a good reminder that I don't want to be that way ever,
This is true. Yeah.
because I don't want to cause that much heartache for other people.
Yeah, no, no, you don't. But it's like, oh man, even that where like I don't want to talk about my job now because
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
there's certain
yeah,
people
no,
that
no,
want.
no. But, and you try to help them, but they're resistant to help. So you're like, you know what, just leave it.
Yeah, no.
And it's kind of sad because, if I were a really good person, I would probably really try to help them, but I get too tired sometimes with all
Well,
of that.
sometimes just not everyone. You can help. You can't help. When you realize you can't help everyone
Yep,
as much as you want to, because unless that person is ready for the help, there
yep,
is you're just wasting your time.
yep.
And I'm sorry to say it that way. It
Yeah, but
sucks,
it's true.
but there's times where you're just being a dead horse.
Yeah. I mean, you try, and all you can do is just send love to that person
Hmm.
and love on that person because, and when they're ready, you might, they might be like, just shut up, but you might just say to them, look, when you're ready, I'm here for you. And that's the only message you can say and tell them. And, you hope you pray that they do reach out to you, or to someone else at least, and get the help that they need because when they're ready. And it's really about doing a lot of reflecting on yourself and who you are. What do you want in this life? What do you really want? How are you going to go about getting it? You can't just blame everything on someone or anyone, right? You, you have your life is controlled by you. And even as a kid, a lot of what you do is still controlled by your feelings, your thoughts and your
Yeah,
feelings, and I mean, I don't want to be strict to a kid, but it's still, hey, it's still your life.
yeah, no, 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 absolutely. It's definitely there's things, circumstances, and even when you're a kid, when you do certain things, there's consequences
Oh,
and
yeah.
things happen. But yeah, the way the way it's moving like so fast, this world and everything.
Hmm.
S- Something that I wanted to touch on what you said was surrounding yourself with the right people
Yeah,
to help you keep
definitely.
the grounded. To surrounding yourself with people who have been where you've been, and have seen the pitfalls and are able to help navigate you through these
Yeah,
through them. And I've been blessed to connect with some amazing people that I've built friendships. I can say, I honestly say built friendships with them,
yeah,
and it's helped me maintain maintain my myself and maintain the fact that I'm not letting all this go to my head or
right.
all the stuff that we're doing. No, because the people you surround yourself are humble people. The people I speak to and communicate the most with are people who are grounded, who are doing some great stuff, but are some of the most grounded people that you ever meet.
Yeah. I think it's so important. Like, I think I think it was Tony Robbins that said this, but the five people that you surround yourself with.
Mhm.
Maybe it was Jim Rohn that said it. I'm not sure, but the
One of
five
somebody says it, yeah.
somebody said it, yeah. But surround yourself with the five people you surround yourself with. You're going to be a reflection of them, and so you want to surround yourself with people that are going to be people that you want to model, people that have the qualities that you aspire to as well, because that way you'll see somebody and say, oh, I want to be like that person. I love that quality about that person. What can I do to be like that?
And you know what's so for someone who works a 9 to 5. How do they get that? How? Because because if you work in a 9 to 5, you surround yourself with people that you work with.
I don't.
These are not necessarily the people
No.
you want, like there, and it's just the people you just work with.
Yeah.
So I know for me working a 9 to 5, and I know what people that I spend any time conversating with,
Mm-hmm.
because again it's those are the moments, like, so yes, you work with different type of people, you connect with the right people at work. You For
Yep.
me, that's what it's been for me, is being able to find people that I can say that they're truly my friends outside
Mm-hmm.
of work, or where we've
Yep.
gone and hung out and done things. But they're those people that I associate with at work are good people.
Yep. And you have to go out and search for that. You can't just, that's something that we have to take action on, is to search for people that you can relate to. Even, I mean, yeah, a lot of jobs you don't have people sometimes that are ideal, but you can always find a quality in a person that you like as
Yeah,
well. And it's also about looking for that quality, because not everyone's sucky, you know. Sometimes it may seem like that, but there are qualities in people that you can relate to. Now, if there isn't someone there, then have someone that you can, even if it's on your phone, or even if they're quotes that you can reflect back on, when you're feeling like so defeated at work. Because there are times when I felt like that, and I would like, maybe take my phone to the bathroom. I really don't like doing that, but you would do that. And then maybe just read a quote that somebody said that can give you strength. Or even if it's just to take a breather, go outside for maybe, you get 15 minutes of break, right? That's law. That's here. I don't know. Oh, well, that's New York law. I don't know if it's anywhere else in the state, any other state, but I would think so, right? You would have at least 5 minutes. So go out for 5 minutes, and even if it's like a YouTube video or somebody that you admire, that you aspire to, watch that person or read a quote, read something that's going to inspire you.
honestly, my algorithm has kind of shifted, and I'm getting a lot of more videos related to God and the Word of God and everything and all this, and it's because of where I'm headed to, where my path is going, and like I have how I said I wanted to build my relationship and with
Right.
God and everything. And again, I'm connecting with the right people. I'm able to have conversations with people where they're not being preachy and all this. They're just people of God that talk shit, talk that we just have regular talks,
Yeah.
but in those conversations, you're able to ask those questions, and like me being, of course, I when I was growing up, I would go to church with my mom and everything like that. But to really sit down and look at my relationship and want to improve my relationship with God is something it's just another step in my growth and my and wanting to make that relationship a big part of my life now.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so important to have that, I think. You know, um, we all have different relationships with God. Some people call it God, some people call it
Universe,
source,
creator,
whatever.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't really matter. It's what you connect with. And I think it's so important that you do take time to connect with that, because I don't know, just my thinking is that we were put on this, even if you don't believe in God, we were still put on this earth, and we're here. That means that there's got to be a reason that we are here. And I'd like to believe that my purpose is to do good in life, right? Um, that's why I love my superheroes and all that. That's why I'm always like, yes, I want to be, an Avenger. I want to be Spider-Man, all this, because I believe that there's always good to be had in the world, and compassion is something and empathy is so important. And those are qualities that I relate to. And I know that whatever created us had that for us. They created us because they wanted us to be the best that we can be. And that's to recognize that we are a reflection of God or source or whatever you want to call it. Each one of us. I think there's, yeah, I always think about the stars. I love stars
Hmm.
and I love looking up at the stars and all this. And I always think that each one of us has a piece of a star within us, and that's his light or God's light or whatever. You could think of it that way too. And we're here to shine. We're supposed to be shining, each one of us. That's just, the way I feel about it. I don't know. And each one of us is supposed to shine and radiate this love and this light so that we can heal others. Each one of us, because each one of us is special. And I think we have to remember that. And a lot of us, when we're, in the rat race and all this, we forget that we are special. And, I mean, I forgot I haven't been to Bible class in a long time. And although I'm not Christian, but I did go to Catholic school most of my life.
Yeah.
Um, but, we were created in his image, right? So that means that we have his essence in us as well. We have a part of him in us, which is the light of the stars or whatever. And I think that is what, we are supposed to be, is to shine the best we can. And by doing that, we're honoring whoever created us and we're honoring ourselves. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm very um, idealistic and I like to imagine all these things. So that's why I like to imagine that we're all little stars and we're all shining and we're lighting up things.
Well, we are lighting up
Yeah.
things. We're here to, like, again, for us, our purpose is to help people. That's something we both want to do with our lives, is make an impact on other people's lives and help them turn their lives around, and be able to share the knowledge that we've gained,
Hmm.
and be it through experience or be it through schooling or whatever it's been, to be able to let people know that we're here to help. We're here
Oh, yeah.
to want to encourage you to want better, to want more out of your life, to continue to grow and to continue to learn and to continue to fight and try to live the best possible life that you can live.
Yeah. Because, yeah. And really, we're here for that. I mean, you know, like if something I say or an action that I take can help somebody, yeah, definitely. That's what I would love. And, just want to remind people that you you are special. Don't ever think that you're not. And if the people that are saying that you're not special, I was gonna say just screw them, but no. Well, that's what I feel, but remember that's a reflection of them, not a reflection of
Of
you.
you. Yeah.
That they're speaking from their minds and whatever things that they have in their head. That's speaking from them, and maybe it's their insecurities that are causing them to say that, because they don't, by seeing you shine, they feel like, oh, you're going to leave them, or you're going to outshine them because they're not confident enough. But you know what? You have to remember that you have to love yourself, and that love that you have for yourself is going to let you shine. And
Definitely.
it's okay, because the right people are going to see you, and the right people are going to love you and care about you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And as always, we start on one topic and we end up every. But that's what I love. Again, this is why we love this show, because we really don't know what we're going to talk about. We just start talking on one thing and then leads us to many different paths, and whatever our minds and our hearts want to talk about, that's what we'll talk about. And that's why I love it. It's like we don't really come. We might have an idea of what we want to start off talking about, but we talk about life.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We speak on life.
Yep.
We speak on what we're experiencing, what we're going through, and we're going to continue to do that. And we're going to continue to try to bring you the best content possible, because we love what we're doing. We love being able to have these conversations, and hopefully people can learn from them. Now that I'm doing the clips and releasing the clips, they're doing pretty well as well. So,
Yes. Thank you for releasing the clip. I caught one and I said, "Oh, gotta share this with my friends," and I did. So it's been quite nice. Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
oh, and my pleasure, my pleasure. But as always, thank you for tuning into Cognitive Cuisine. I am Will Otero, Wize.
And I'm Yayoi of Brain to Belly.
And thank you as always for tuning in. Please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell whenever we release a new episode of Cognitive Cuisine.
Yes, please.
Thank you and peace
Yeah.
out.
Peace out.